Hello guys, Brat Expert here, back again with another new video. On this video, I'll be walking you through Blue. Blue is a room in tryhackme which majorly deals with a well-known exploit, Eternal Blue. Eternal Blue is an exploit that was released in 2014 by the shadow brokers after they had compromised the NSA and released the exploit to the public. Majorly, this exploit is used to exploit Windows operating systems which are vulnerable to it, and it's very critical, and it works magically because you don't need to create a backdoor and insert and install it into the client's computer so that you can get a reverse shell. It's very good if you have used it before. I've used it before, and man, it's good. So this ROM was majorly developed by Darkstar and Ben, major tryhackme enthusiasts. So if you're complete with this ROM, you can also want a badge here. So start your machines by clicking a green button labeled start machine. After clicking the button's color, the button will be disabled and its background color will turn into gray. You will be assigned the unique machine's IP, and please follow the instructions that you are given in these questions, because sometimes if you don't follow the instructions that you are assigned or you are instructed, you may be stuck doing something somewhere. So we will first conduct our reconnaissance by using a powerful network scanning tool called the Nmap. I'll hit here complete. So it's very easy. You'll just do sudo nmap don't ping the machine. I want to run this result on map.txt file. I want this to be verbose. I want it to be aggressive. So I did this scan before creating this video because I know sometimes this scan may take long to complete. So these were my results. I found several ports were open. These were the flags that I used while conducting my Nmap scan. Several ports were open, and also something weird here. Port 3389 was opened, meaning that you can remotely access this computer if you get the public IP and the correct credentials, because 3389 is the default port for RDP, that remote desktop, meaning that you can remotely control this computer in a graphical user interface without undergoing many processes if you are an adversary. And also with your scan complete, you can also realize that the computer is an Windows operating system, build number 7601, service pack 1. So back to our question tags. We asked how many ports are open within a port number, and there are 3, that is 135, 139 and 4445. So majorly this exploit is used to exploit Windows operating system, and it injects itself majorly through SMB, that is server message block, which this protocol it's majorly used by computers in a network to share messages. So please ensure you are connected to the VPN's virtual private network, as I am connected here, so that you can perform your hacking on these machines. If you're not connected to the network, even performing the Nmap scan will be difficult, so ensure you do so. So in this question, in our third question, our first task, we are asked to identify if the machine is vulnerable. So I'll use an auxiliary scanner. So I'm using this scanner to identify if the machine is vulnerable to eternablue. We need to set our R host. You can also increase your threads, but it's not a must. Let me just increase them. Then run your scan. So as per our result, it was positive, meaning that the machine is vulnerable to eternablue. Here the host is likely vulnerable to MS-17. And also something good, we also identified the machine is an 64-bit architecture. So this one will be resourceful when creating our payloads. So our next task is to gaining access to the machine. The exploit required here is exploit Windows SMB MS-17 eternablue. So the options that you will be required to set is R host. Let us now exploit the machine. Use exploit. We're required to set our R host. That's why I've been asked the option. Here you can see the R host is empty. We also need to set our L host. Our L host is our VPN's IP, or the IP of our machine, because we are the attacking machine. I'll leave the L port to the default one. Let us change the payload. Set payload to Windows M64 metapilta. No, let it be shell, so that I can go as per our instructions here. We are told to create the payload. We'll use that payload, so that I can show you how you can upgrade from my shell payload to a metapreter shell. So when this shell runs, our reverse shell will be a command shell, reverse shell, by the way. Let us set the verbosity to true. Then let us exploit the machine and it to run on the background. The exploit has given us a command shell. We already have one session. You can use this command to see if you have session. We have one session here, but what we are required to do is to upgrade this session into a Metapreter session. So we will use a post module used to do so. Post multi-manage shell to Metapreter. We are required to set our L host. Our L host is turn 0. Set the session. The session is 1. Set verbosity to true so that we can see what's happening. Let us run our exploit. So we are waiting for the Metapreter to be created. I think here the exploit will not be created. Let us try to see if there's some jobs. Let me just sessions minus one. Let us see if the session will be upgraded. This issue mainly occurs if you are trying to upgrade these shells. Sometimes this stuff, sometimes they work, sometimes they fail to work. So if it fails to work, just go back to using the default payload that this one has worked, because I'm seeing sending stage, meaning that the exploit, the upgrade session is working. So we are now waiting for a Metapreter session to be opened, and it has been successfully opened. So the post that you're supposed to use here, the module, is called post multi-manage. manage shell to interpreter because of converting from a shell. You're upgrading from a command shell to an interpreter shell. And the module that we are required to set here was session, if you remember correctly. And I set my session. The other parts you'll have to read on your own, go through them. So afterwards you'll have to migrate from your actual process to a more stable process so that your exploitation may be stable. I want to see our session because I know the sessions have been created. Now we have another session here. Session, let us migrate to that session. Session 2. You can see get UID. We are now an anti-authority system. So we want to migrate from one process to another so that we can get a stable process. I want to let me use 128. I'll use this ID, this pools process, which is running as an anti-authority system. You can use any process. Do migrate 1288. So we were running with 784. This was the process that we are running with, the PowerShell process. Now we want to migrate to the spool. We have shown you how to run, to migrate. So the importance of migrating from one process to the other is to ensure you have a stable session by migrating into a process that majorly works. The process is not switched off each and every time by the machine. So what we were in our fourth task, we are told to give an undefault user. So that's why I'm loading Kiwi. After loading Kiwi, we will dump the hashes. So you have to load first Kiwi so that you can use the command, the hash dump command. So you can see the non-default user is John, and this is the NTLM hash and LM hash. So we'll use the LM hash to crack the password. Here is John. Also, we can use online tools like crackstation.net is an online password cracking tool. I will show you how we can do this manually. I want to crack this password manually. So I will echo the password, the hash, into a file. Let me say pass.txt. The mode for NTLF is 1000. The tag method will be 0. The file that contains the file is pass.txt. Then we'll use this is the command for cracking the password with hashcat. So I'll show you how you can do this with a crack station. There are several online tools that you can use to crack these passwords with, but majorly I will show you hashcat. Let us give it some time. I know I'm running on a limited environment, but I still will manage to crack the password. So here is where you insert your hash and then you crack it. This is your password. This is the password. This is John's password. We'll just give it some couple of minutes for the password to be cracked. So this depends with your CPU. If you have good resources or enough resources, cracking will not be hard. It will be simple. But I want to show you how it is done with a hash cut, and also you can use John the Ripper. So we are done. The password has been cracked here. You can see here ALKFNA222. It's just the same as the password that we got from crackstation.net. You can also use John the Ripper. Let me just show you. Let me just show you how you can use John the Ripper. It is very simple. John, you specify the format. Format is equals to NTLM. And then you have to specify your word list. So you can also use John. Let me not specify the format first. Now I'll specify the word list that I want to use. I'll use the ROQ word list, which contains 14 million password combinations. So sorry for that. I think so when it is done, you will also get the same password. I've shown you I've shown you how to use John the Ripper to crack these hashes and also hash cut. So in our feed task, we are supposed to get our flags. I think John the Ripper failed to crack the hashes because it even failed to identify if it is an LM or it even failed to identify, but same commands and techniques are used to crack the hashes. Let us now find the flag. I'll just search the first flag. This is the obvious for these tryhackme rooms. You have some, if you engage in CTFs challenges, you are told to hack into computers and get these flags. So if you are stuck somewhere, you can click the hint to know, to be given some tips here. So our first flag we are tipped here. Can you see it? Meaning that our first flag is in the C drive. You can also see our metasploit detected that is in the C drive. So we can just cut this flag from here. We need to this is the flag required there. So we need to find the second flag. This is our second flag. So that flag, we were required to elevate our privileges to any authority system, of which you have done so that you can get that flag. So I'll just search for the flag here. It's flag3.txt. I think, yeah. So we've gotten all of our flags, and we are done with the room. So I hope you have learned something. You've been able to know how you can use, or how you can be able to use eternablue. Leverage the exploit for your own benefit. For more videos, tips and tricks, visit our website sportletfree.com for more videos. On our next video, I'll be working on how to perform a denial of service, but it will be ethically. So when I release that video, ensure that you use those resources or those skills ethically. Don't perform it on someone's machine illegally, because things may get bad. From my side, I'm done. Peace.